And so ultimately, there's a lot of life to live after that. And the best models for athletes, in my opinion, in terms of managing their wealth is their talent, their wealth is their skill, their wealth is their ability, their wealth is everything they're doing in the ring, on the field, right? So managing that wealth means balancing that with health, long-term health implications, and sort of saying, okay, I want to go in here and do like Robert Smith. Robert Smith played for Ohio State as a running back. He was really good. He then went to play for the Minnesota Vikings, where he was also really good. But Robert Smith did something that most of the black men didn't do. It shocked these coaches. And what he did was he said, I'm retiring, man. I'm out of here. I don't know how old he was. I think he might have been in his 20s when he retired. He was still at the top of his game. He was still a great running back. And they were like, why would you quit when you could go out there and keep getting brain damage for another 10 years? Robert said, because I want to have a good life after I'm done playing football. I want to be healthy. I want to watch my grandkids grow up. So Robert walked away at a time where it made sense, right? Just like a lot of drug dealers. You ever watch the movies where the drug dealer, if he had just saved his money and walked away at the right time, he could have been rich for the rest of his life. But instead, he had to do one more run, make one more deal, and then that's when his best friend, gets him set up with the feds, and then he goes to prison for 30 years, right? So knowing when to walk away is really important, I think, for a lot of athletes. Dr. Myron Rolle is another guy I just have so much respect for. Myron Rolle, I would almost say we're friends. We follow each other on Instagram, and he sent me a copy of his book, and he was messaging me and stuff like that. And Myron Rolle is just, I didn't even say it because when you meet somebody that's kind of famous and stuff, you don't want to fan out and be like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan, because that's corny. That's like simping, right? I can't be those. The whole internet called me a simp when I married my wife, so I can't be out here simping more than that. But anyway, I really, just to be honest with you, I admired his brother so much. Let me tell you what Myron Rolle did. Myron Rolle was just an absolute badass as a football player. He played at Florida State University. He was arguably the best defensive back in the country. I'd say I'm thinking at Florida State, he's probably the second best to Deion Sanders, and Deion was the goatiest goat of all time in that position. And he goes to the NFL. He gets drafted, and he literally just tells them, he's like, you may not be used to this, but I'm a black man who has options. And they're like, "What? Wait, whoa, a black man with options? You mean coming to work for important white people isn't the best thing you got going? You're not from the hood. You're not a raggedy Negro who's like with holes in his shoes, who's like grateful for us giving you an opportunity." He's like, "No, actually, I'm a genius and I want to be a medical doctor." He didn't say it like that, but I'm reinterpreting. This is the Dr. Boyce interpretation of the Myron Rolle story. So basically, Myron took time. He got drafted in the NFL and said, I want to go to Oxford. And he did a fellowship, I think, in Oxford for a year or two. And then he's like, okay, now I'm ready to play football. And then he came back and he had a great career in the NFL. Now Myron I think he does brain surgery on babies or something. He's like a pediatric neurosurgeon or something. I don't know exactly where he went. I remember seeing prestigious names like Harvard and Johns Hopkins.